there for Shakespeare. Thurber, welcome. Macbeth, Night 3. Ooh, Bryce the Charm, something about threes. I think tonight's going to be the best show yet. What do you think? Yeah. Now, many of you have already seen this, so I know the excitement is there. Okay. I'd like to take a moment, though, to tell you just a little bit more. I know you're excited and you want to see this, but Project Shakespeare will be doing more here. We are bringing Christmas Carol on December 19th. A little lighter fare. No blood. No death. Well, yeah, no real death. And about 30 students from little ones. Actually, my youngest now he's all of 7 now. When he started with me, he said in kindergarten, "I've wanted to be on stage my entire life, Deborah. I really have to be in Christmas Carol." So he was our littlest Tiny Tim. And now he's 7, and he thinks he is just like, he's got 4 shows under his belt. So he's very confident, you know. So please come see that if you can. That again is December 19th. It's a Saturday night, 7 o'clock right here. So thank you all. Really, this has been such a wonderful experience for me. Thank you for letting me work with your amazing, amazing children, students. I guess they're too old to be children, but thank you. They have put their heart and soul into this. They've somehow balanced it with everything else that goes on here at this fabulous school. And it really has been fun for me, and I've learned so much. And I hope I get invited back, because this has been terrific. So thank you very much. Thank you to Carl, who is somewhere. Thank you to Carol, who's, I don't know where she is. Peter Mayjoy, who was the one that made the original introduction for us. Thank you to my husband, who decided to come to the show tonight. It is here on time. Amazing. He's the one, you know those sound cues that are a little scary? He did it. It's his fault. So, thank you all very much. Actors, have a fabulous show. You are doing Shakespeare. The best text you can get is Shakespeare. So really enjoy it. So, without further ado, Quinn, you can do those lights? Okay? Macbeth by William Shakespeare. Enjoy.
We MACBETH.com. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Fall into the air. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Ever through the fall and through the air. So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is called to forest? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly you show? My noble partner you greet with present grace, and great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. You who look into the seeds of time and say, which grain will grow and which will not. Speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors, nor your hate.
Hail,
Hail. Hail.
lesser than Macbeth, and greater.
Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt beget kings, though thou be none.
So
So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth. All hail. All hail. All hail. All
Stay, you
hail.
imperfect speaker!
All
Tell me
hail.
more! By my
All
father's
hail.
death, I know I am Thane of
All
Glamis.
hail.
But how is Cawdor?
All hail.
The Thane of Cawdor
All
lives, a
hail.
prosperous gentleman.
All hail.
And to be king
All
stands
hail.
not within the prospect of
All
belief, no more than to be
All
Cawdor.
hail.
Say from whence you
All
owe this
hail.
strange intelligence.
All
And why upon this blasted heath
All
you
hail.
stop our way with such
All
prophetic
hail.
greetings? Speak, I charge you!
Whither are they vanished?
Into the air. What seemed corporal has melted his breath in the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings,
You shall be king,
and Thane of Cawdor too, were it not so.
to the selfsame tune and words. Who's here?
The king hath happily received Macbeth, the news of thy success. I am sent to give thee from our royal master's thanks, for an earnest of a greater honor. He bade me call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, hail, most worthy Thane.
You devil speak true.
Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes? Because the Thane lives yet, when treason's capital confessed and proof have overthrown him. Glamis and Thane of Cawdor, two truths are told, as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. This supernatural soliciting cannot be good, cannot be ill. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? If chance will have me king, why, chance may crown me without my stir. Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Look, our partner's wrapped. New honors come upon him like strange garments. Worthy Macbeth, you stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us toward the king. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those who gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths.
Think upon what hath chanced, and at some time let us speak our free hearts to each other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough.
Is execution done on Cawdor?
My father, I have spoke with one who saw him die. He confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became like believing it.
He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. O worthiest cousin, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe, in doing it, pays itself. Your highness
deserved. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
All know we will establish our state upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
I'll myself be the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with thy approach.
My worthy Cawdor.
Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye winketh the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge.
The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down.
When I burned a desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished.
Or else o'er leaf, for in my way it lies.
While I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, before which title these weird sisters had saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with, "Hail, king that shall be."
Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires.
This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness has promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shall be what thou art promised. But I do fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, that fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your
The
tidings?
king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it.
So please you, it is true. Our Thane is come.
The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits, that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark, to cry, hold, hold. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence,
Tomorrow as he purposes.
and never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book, where men may read strange matters, to beguile the time, look like the time, bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, that to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear.
This castle hath a pleasant seat.
Leave all the rest with me.
The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-hunting swallow, does approve. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed, the air is delicate.
See, our honored hostess.
All our service in every point twice done and then done double, for poor and single business, to contend with those honors, deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at his heels, but he rides well, and his great love hath holpen him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests today.
Your servants ever.
Give me your hand, conduct me to my host.
If 'twere done, when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. The assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surceased success, if this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here! He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, nor bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet tongue, and pity like a naked newborn babe shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
Ye have almost stopped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, you not, he has.
We shall proceed no further in this business.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Has it slept since, and waits it now to look so green and pale upon what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love.
Prithee, peace! I dare to all that may become a man, who dares do more than none.
What beast wast then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed the brains out had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We? Fail? Screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, will I, his chamberlains with wine, drench their natures as in death? What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with present show. False face must hide what the false heart doth none.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
And she goes down at 12.
I take 'tis later, sir.
There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's here?
A friend.
Come, sir. Don't get at rest. The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you they have showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business, if you would grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Go! Bid thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not. And yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as that which now I draw. Mine eyes amid the fools of the other sex. I go, and it is done. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me gold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! 'Twas the owl that shrieked, that fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, the serpented grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die. Alack, I'm afraid they have awaked that 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! I lay the daggers ready. He could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it.
I have done the deed.
My husband.
Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl shriek and the crickets cry. Did you not speak?
When?
Now.
Has it ascended?
Aye.
Hark, who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder! And they did say their prayers and addressed him again to sleep.
There are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other. As they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fears, I could not pronounce amen when they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could I not pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways. So it will make us mad. Come, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers to the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleeping goose with blood.
I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on to yet I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures, and 'tis the eye of childhood that fears the painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth doth murder sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care. Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more. Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? Ah, what hands are these? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No, this my hand will rather the multitudinous seas in incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shaved to our hearts so white. I hear knocking. A little water clears us from this deed. How easy it is then. Your constancy hath left you unattended. More knocking. Get on your nightgown. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, 'twere best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking, I would thou couldst!
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, Macduff.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
Didn't command us to call timely on him.
I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I'll make so bold to call.
Goes the king hence today?
He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
Oh, horror! 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 Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo and Donalbain! Malcolm! Awake! Malcolm! Banquo, ring the bell! Our royal master is murdered!
This murderous shaft that shall her father hath not yet lighted, stake his ways to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse let us not be dainty in leave taking, but shift away. Where will you go? I to England.
To our die.
Our separate fortunes shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. Nearer blood, nearer bloody.
Farewell, brother.
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Servants of Duncan said Macbeth hath slain.
What good could they have gained?
They were bribed. The king's two sons, Malcolm and Donalbain, are stolen away and fled. That puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and is going to be invested.
Will you just go?
No, cousin, we'll home to
I will thither. Farewell.
May you see things done there.
Here's our chief guest.
If he had been forgot, there is a gap in our great feast and all thing unbecoming.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my lord.
Is far you ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time twixt this and supper.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not. Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all that the weird women promised, and I fear thou playedst most foully for it. Yet it was said it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be the root and father of many kings. If there come truth from them, as upon thee, Macbeth, may they not be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope?
To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep. There is none but he whose being I do dread. He, should the sisters, when first they put the name of king upon me and bade them speak to him. Then, prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown and put a barren scepter in my grip, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If to be so, for Banquo's issue have I filled my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them, to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings. We here, our bloody cousins, are bestowed in England and Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide. Hie to your horse, adieu, till you return tonight. Let every man be master of his time, till supper time we keep ourselves alone. Sirrah, a word with you. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then, know you both Banquo is your enemy?
True, my lord.
Can you let this go?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue you go for men. Just as hounds, greyhounds, mastiffs, terriers, mongrels, spaniels, curs, and demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. Now, I will put this business into your bosoms. It's the execution that takes your enemy off, grapples you to the heart and love of us.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, so tugged with fortune, that I'd set my life on any chance to end it or rear it on't.
Banquo is mine enemy as well, and though I could with barefaced power sweep him from my sight, I must not. For certain friends who are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, would wail his fall, and thence it is that I to your assistance do make love.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
Your spirits shine through you. It must be done tonight, and something from the palace, and with him, Fleance, his son, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than is his father's.
We are resolved, my lord.
It is concluded. Banquo, thy soul's flight, if to find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Naught's had, all spent where our desires got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. We will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better to be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than to lie in restless ecstasy upon the torture of the mind. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Nothing can shake him further.
Come on, gentle my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou know'st that Banquo and his flails lives.
Bring them nature's coffee is not eternal.
Have comfort yet. They are assailable.
It will be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Be thou talking.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dear Chuck, till thou applaudest me.
Fly, good flails, fly! Thou mayst revenge! Ah!
Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rosewood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse as night's black agents to their prey do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. To one and all a hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty. To all our friends, welcome.
Let us drink a measure. There's blood on my face.
It's Banquo's land.
Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. I did that for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Banquo safe?
I have safe in a ditch nearby.
Thanks for that. Get thee gone.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrancer. Now, good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
Health!
We had here our country's honor roofed, were the grace person of our Banquo present.
His absence sir laid blame upon his promise.
Should have done this.
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
His highness is not well.
Stay, worthy friends. My lord is often thus and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep still. If much you know him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought, he will again be well. Drink and regard him not. Are you a man?
I am the bold one that dare look on that.
Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there. See, behold, look. If I stand here, I saw him.
Hide for shame.
It used to be that when the brains were out, the man was dead. And they're an end, but now they rise again.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity. Now, I drink to the general joy, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would you were here.
Our duties and the pledge.
Avaunt, and quit my sight! Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence!
You have displaced the mirth.
What's so being gone? I am a man again. Pray you be still!
My lord, do not speak so loudly.
Can such sight be? Canst thou now behold such things and keep the natural ruby of thy cheeks when mine is blanched with fear?
What sights, my lord?
Pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night.
And better health and majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. How's the night?
Almost at odds with the morning, which is which.
What sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send him, sir?
I heard it by the way, but I will send. There's not one among his house I keep a servant's feed. I will tomorrow to the weird sisters, for now I am bent to know the worst. I am in blood stepped in so deep, that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er.
We lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. We are but young indeed.
Thrice the branded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the
about the cauldron, in the poisoned entrails corrode. Toad, that under cold stone days and nights has 31, sweltered venom, sleep begot, boiled out first, I the charmed pot.
Double, toil and trouble, fire burn and double.
Fillet of fenny snake, in the cauldron boil of babe, eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindword sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing, for a charm that's powerful trouble, like hell broth, boil and bubble.
Double, toil and trouble, fire burn, cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maw and gulf of the rabid salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged in the dark, liver of blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew, slivered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of birth strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab, add thereto a tiger's chaudron for the ingredients of our cauldron. Double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with the baboon's blood, the charmed sperm and good.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags, what is you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. However you come to know it, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak,
Demand.
We'll answer.
say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Call 'em, let me see 'em.
Come high or low, thyself and office deftly show.
Macbeth! Beware Macduff! Beware the Thane of Fife! Dismiss me! Enough!
Here's another more potent than the first.
Macbeth!
Had I 3 years, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn our man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? Is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the rounded top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until great burning wood to high Dunsinane hill shall come against him.
That can never be! Who can impress upon the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. If your art can tell so much, tell me this shall make will issue ever reign in this kingdom.
Seek to know no more. Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied.
Seek to know
Deny me
no
this and an eternal curse
Seek
fall
to
on
know
you.
no more.
Let me know! See to
Grace's will!
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Heard the galloping of horses. Who else came by?
One, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England.
I, my lord.
From this moment forth, the firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, and give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose fool.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our fears do not, our actions do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
His wisdom to leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly. He loves us not. He lacks the natural touch. For the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight, her young ones in her nest, against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom, for the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest husband, I pray you, school yourself, but for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fit of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we do not know ourselves, when what we fear, yet not know what we fear. I shall leave at once. My pretty cousins, blessing be upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he's fatherless.
I am so much a fool should I stay longer. It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leaves at once.
Sirrah, your father's dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, mother.
What, with worms and flies?
What I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Thou'dst never feared in that nor line, the pitfall, nor the gin.
Why should I, mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father's not dead, for all your sake.
Yes, he is dead. How wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy with 20 at any market.
You'll buy and sell them.
Thou speakst with all thy wit, and yet if they wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Every one that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Every one.
And who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swears are fools, for there are liars and swears enough to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do for a father?
If he were dead, you'd weep for him. If he would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Bless you, fair dame, I am not to you known. I doubt some news does approach you nearly. If you would take a homely man's request, be not found here. Hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse more fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable. To do good, sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say, I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shag-haired villain!
You egg, young fry of treacherous.
He has killed me, but run away, I pray you!
On the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland its sorrow and grief.
This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well, he hath not hurt you yet. I am young. You may still be rewarded by him through me, offering up a poor innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. Why in such rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong, not so beloved, without leave taking? I pray you. And not my suspicions beard dishonors, but my own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed, bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, I would not be the villain that thou thinkst for all the space that's in the tyrant's grasp.
Be not offended. Speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. Yet withal the wounded hands uplifted in my right. And here from England we have offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, our poor country shall have more vices than it did before, by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
Speak of myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice so grafted that, when they shall be opened, black Macbeth shall seem as pure as snow.
Not in the legions of horrid hell could come a devil more damned in evils to talk Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden smacking of every sin that had a name. But there is no bottom, none, to my voluptuousness and my desire. Better Macbeth than such as I to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours.
Were I king, I should cut off the nobles from their lands, desire his jewels and the other's house. My more having would be as the sauce to make me hunger more. I would forge quarrels unjust against the good and honest, destroying them for wealth.
Do not fear. Scotland has wealth to fill up your will. All these are portable with other graces' ways.
But I have none. The king becoming graces as justice, temperance, mercy, devotions, patience, courage. I have no relish of them. Had I the power, I should pour the sweet milk of Concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, destroy all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland! Scotland!
Such a one be fit to govern. Speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live. O nation miserable, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath wiped from my soul the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy own good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these traps hath sought to win me into his power, but God above deal between thee and me, and even now I put myself in thy direction, and speak my own wrongdoings, or strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, at no time lost my faith. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is thine, my poor country's to command.
See, who comes here? My ever-gentle cousin, welcome hither. Stand Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself.
What's the newest grief? How does my wife?
Why, well,
And all my children?
well too.
The tyrant is not battered at their peace?
No, they were at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a miser of your speech. How goes it?
Now is the time for help. Your eye in Scotland. Create soldiers. Make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England has lent us good seaward, his worthy son and 10,000 men.
Would I could answer the discomfort with the like, but I have words that should be howled out in the desert air, where hearing shall not catch them.
What concern they?
The main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, but I have news that shall make them cry. Your castle is surprised, your wife, children, savagely slaughtered.
Merciful heaven.
My children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that can be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let us make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. What did you say? All? Oh, hellkite! All my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were all struck for thee. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Let not the heart enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. But, gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
Come. Go we to the king. Our power is ready, our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for the shaking. The powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
Besides her walking, what at any time have you heard her say?
That which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and in most meet you should.
Not to you nor anyone. Lo you, here she comes. 'Tis her very guise, and upon my life fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, I stood by her. She has light by her continuously. It is her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their sense is shut.
Look how she rubs her hands.
Yes, it's an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I've known her continuing this for a quarter of an hour.
And here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks.
Out, damn spot! Out, I said! 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie, a soldier and a fear? What needs we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power into account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will his hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to. You have heard what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not.
Yet here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia would not sweeten this little hand. Ah!
What a cry is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
This disease is beyond my practice.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you again, Bank was buried. He cannot come out on his grave. To bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed.
Will she go down to bed?
Directly.
To bed.
Look after her. And so, good night. I think I dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor. Is she the divine and the physician? God forgive us all.
The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Seward's son, and the good Macduff. Near Burnham Wood shall we meet. As for the tyrant Macbeth, great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others a lesser hate of do call valiant fury. Bring me no more reports! Let them fly all! Till Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, I cannot take fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? Shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear.
My lord, there is 10,000.
Geese, villain!
Soldiers, sir.
Soldiers, what soldiers, wayface?
English force, so please you.
Seated, I am sick at heart. Seated, my way of life has fallen into the sere, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends I may not look to have. Seated.
What is your gracious pleasure?
Bring me my sword. I'll fight till from my bone my flesh be hacked.
It's not needed yet.
Bring me my sword, I'll have it, I say. I was the queen.
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure of that! Canst not the doctor minister to a mind deceased, pluck from the heart a rooted sorrow, and cleanse her bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon her soul?
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dogs, I'll none of it. Seated, come, give me my sword. My thanes fly from me, come dispatch. If thou couldst cast the waters of the land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health. Seated! I will not be afraid of death and pain, till Burnham Forest come to Dunsinane.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand, and our lands will once again be safe.
We doubt it, nothing.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham.
Let every soldier hew himself a bough and bear it before him. Thereby we shall shatter the numbers of our host, make discoveries, air and report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane. The time approaches we will make ourselves known, towards which advance the war.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls! The cry is still they come! Our castle strength will laugh a siege to scorn! There let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up! What is that noise?
It's the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fears. The time has been my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. I have supped full of horrors. Direness, familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot now start me. Wherefore was that noise?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of forgotten time, and all our yesterdays are lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle, life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Seated my story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I should report that which I say saw, but know not how to do it. As I did stand upon the hill and look towards Burnham, anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Tell you, sir, within this 3 mile you may see it coming, a moving grove.
Thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine in the ague cling thee if thou speakest true. I care not if thou dost this much for me. Fear not, till Burnham wood be come to Dunsinane, and now the wood is come to Dunsinane. I begin to be aweary of the sun, and wish the estates of the world were now undone. Arm and out! Come wind, blow, rack! At least we'll die with harness on our backs.
Now near enough, your leafy screams throw down and show like those you are.
Worthy Uncle Seaward, take with you your right noble son, and lead our first battle. Worthy Macbeth and we shall take upon what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Make all our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
They have tied me to a stake, I cannot fly. But bear-like I shall fight the course. Who is he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear with none.
What is thy name?
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself cannot pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, no one more fearful.
Thou liest, aborted tyrant! With my sword I shall prove the land of speech!
Thou was born of woman.
Turn, hellhound, turn! Tyrant, show thy face!
Of all men else I have avoided thee. But get thee back! My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out!
Thou losest labor! I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one of woman born.
Spare thy charm! Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Cursed be the tongue that tells me so! I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole, and underwrit, here may you see the tyrant!
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, nor to be baited with the rabble's curse. Though Burnham would be come to Dunsinane, and thou, beingst not of woman born, yet I will try the last lay on Macduff, and damned be he that first cries, hold enough! Ah!
This way, my lord, the castle is surrendered. Your son, my lord, has paid a soldier's debt.
Why then, God's soldier be he.
Hail, King of Scotland, for so thou art. Behold, where lies the usurper's cursed head. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
they will run into this show many times in their theater careers. It's one that you get to keep working on and keep working on. So thank you. Josh, thank you. How's the stage combat? Pretty good, huh? Tonight really was, I thought, the best of the three shows. The first night, it was like this crazy energy that just like would not be tamed. It was just out there. And then last night was more controlled, and they really were playing with the language more, but it got kind of soft and a little more cerebral. And tonight, it was a really good, I think, blend of them both. They were in control, they knew the story, but they kept the pace up, and they just were very clear on their storytelling. I thought it was very compelling. Well, you saw all three. Did you see a change and a growth in it? Yeah, yeah. And I mean, and that's what's great about theater is every night it's different. Every night. So thank you again, all. Thank you again. And now you get to tell them how wonderful they are. So,